stage as we go on board with George Thomas and Graham Hopewell.
4, 3, 2, 1, go! That's 80. Right, long. 40, 5 right, left on. 60. Small press, right, in, 5 right. Flat press, jump, 80,
Incredibly, Thomas was instantly fastest of all the Fiestas, with a time of 3 minutes 14 seconds. And that was just 26 seconds slower than Malcolm Wilson in the Focus WRC. Thomas had shown his potential last year when he won the BTRDA 1400 Championship in his Nova. And despite the change to this new car, he had certainly not lost any of his speed. Mike Falconer from Gretna has been a front-runner in several of the one-make championships over the past few years and was tipped as one of the favourites here in the Lake District. He was third fastest on this opening stage. 19-year-old Tommy Walster already has a proven pedigree in motorsport that includes rallycross and the 205 Challenge. His move to the Fiestas is a real chance to show his full potential. Welshman Simon Hughes has a vast experience for a 23-year-old, having driven almost everything from a simple 1400 to a full-blown WRC Skoda. But he was struggling on the opening stage to find his pace. 19-year-old Kevin Davis from Carmarthenshire won the Group A5 class in last year's BTRDA 1400 Championship, and so was no stranger to these stages, and straight into a top 6 place. But immediately onto the pace, it was Irishman Owen Murphy, just 1 second adrift of Thomas, and driving with a true determination, despite being full of flu. So, after the opening stage, it was Thomas leading from Murphy by just 1 second. Then Falconer, Walster, Hughes and Davis. Stage 2 moved across the road on the Winlatter Pass to Coombe, where Simon Hughes found his pace, despite a light covering of snow in places. Another good run on Stage 3 would see him enter the first service in 3rd place, just 5 seconds off the lead.
It's been pretty steady going so far, just pretty slippy and things like that, so we've been taking it easy, make sure we don't do anything silly at the start of the rally, and now once we get some times we'll have a look and see if we need to push on.
Tommy Walster was still pushing quite hard to keep himself up with the top runners.
So Tom, 3 stages down, how's it gone?
Well, we've had so many moments. It's sure is slippy in there, and we've been trying, but not like keeping a good limit. And we're going to, if we've not seen any times yet, but we're going to look at everybody else's time, see how we're getting on, and we've got that extra bit just to push on if we need to. But it's mega slippery. We have some mega moments, and Kirsty's hurt her back, so we'll just make sure she's okay. But apart from that, everything's okay. Else okay. Gearbox a bit funny, and there's all sorts of little naggly bits, but it's to be expected. But it's all okay.
Yeah, I saw you talking to Jeff then about the setup of the car. You're softening it off a little bit.
Yeah, just softening it off. It's a bit too wild at the back. It's just coming out a bit too much. And I mean, I like to drive like that, but there is a limit of what it can be, and so we're still playing about with it and just finalising everything, but it's feeling good though, the car's good.
Yeah.
Really.
George Thomas continued to impress, matching times with Simon Hughes on Stage 2, and then dropping just 1 second on Stage 3. He headed into service in 2nd place overall, and seemed quite happy with how it was going.
Right. Like I said at the beginning though, it's just getting used to the car and not really going too mad. So, but I think, well, people have been saying Simon Hughes is the one to beat sort of thing, and we took 4 out of him on the first stage, and then we've basically been identical times on the second, on the third and second and the third. So I think we're somewhere near, but we're nowhere near going fast enough yet.
Right. How's the car feel?
Feels great. It's just I'm not used to these ruts.
Yeah.
Being in the 1400s, and yeah, it's just getting used to those really. When you take a corner flat out and it's kicking you all over the road, trying to follow the ruts instead of where you want to go really. So.
Yeah.
Ian Gillespie had never used pace notes before this rally, and it was taking a little time to get used to them. After a steady run on stage 1, when he caught the car in front, he put the car off the road on stage 2, as he explained.
Unfortunately, we just over-egged it on a corner on the second one and lost 4 minutes by sliding off the road, but there were some very good spectators that managed to get us back on, and we've carried on and we've finished with it, and we're in service now.
Yeah. So no damage to the car then?
The exhaust tanks may be crushed underneath, but the guys are going to have a look at that now.
Right.
Brothers Ian and Ori Lewin had never competed in a rally car together before, and it was taking a little getting used to both the car and each other. William Maverty had travelled over from Enniskillen to compete in this championship, and had the experienced Mark Ammons on the pace notes.
3 left opens on crest long, 40. 1 right long, 80. Caution.
A steady run on stage 1 saw them in 14th place. But then on stage 2, everything was about to grind to a halt.
3 left can.
Don't know. Lost it. What the
William was obviously seething.
Nothing. No power. Jump out and hit the switch. Down the bonnet, this kill switch. Maybe cut down. There on the boat. Go. I hit it anyway. Hit it. Yeah. Hit it again. Right, we need to check. Could it be fuses maybe?
Adam Gould and Simon Sperry were having a better run, and had climbed up into 11th overall by the time they entered the first service, despite getting stuck behind a slower competitor.
Let's have a left to double caution 4 right, don't cut. Slow in, double caution 2 right. Oh, you're on the finish, almost. It's a narrow bridge, 90 right, 2 left, don't cut, you're on the finish line, go on. Keep going, go on. Okay, well done.
Mike Falconer was still in the leading battle, despite this slight mistake here on stage 2. And he set another top 10 time, both here and on stage 3, to head into service reasonably happy.
Not too bad, we just didn't quite get into it on the first one. It's very slippy, and sort of went back to driving my old car for a bit instead of using this one, and but we've got there now, 3 down, so then we dropped a bit of time in the second one, but we've got a fairly good time on the last one, so I think we were about 8 down, but this next one, the long one, that'll be the make or break of the rally, so we're going to go in there and give it everything.
Yeah. How's the balance feel?
Good, yeah, we've played around with the brakes a bit. It wasn't quite right on the first one. We had a few hairy moments on braking, but it's very slippy as well, so you're trying to judge between whether it's the car or the conditions. It's all being new, you don't know what to do to change the setup, but we're getting there.
5th after the first loop of stages, Kevin Davis was just 12 seconds behind the leader, and very happy with his new car.
Brilliant, plenty of power, plenty of torque in it, brilliant car. The first 3 were quite slippy, I found anyway, and quite rough. So I'm told they're getting drier as the days goes on. So yeah, let's move on and get some mileage underneath the belt in the car.
Yeah. How are you finding the balance of the car?
Good, brilliant, yeah.
Yeah.
Had a bit of a fiddle with the brakes on the first stage. Took a bit of time adjusting and stuff, so yeah, I think we've got it now.
Excellent. Heading down to Grindsdale now, longer stages. Is it a different strategy for those, or is it still just flat out?
Oh, still flat out most probably. you know, drive within your limits and but I try to and just get to the finish.
Gordon Coleman was also making a good impression in his M Sport prepared car and was lying an impressive 6th overall. He too was catching cars in the stage. James Phillips on the notes.
Into 6 right long, tightens. Into 6 left and turn very tight hairpin left. 6 left and very tight hairpin left. 2 right long to 6 left, tightens and very tight hairpin right. Very tight hairpin right here. Go on, go. Watch the log. Good boy. 130, 6 right, tightens. Okay, 6 right, tightens, care. 60. 2 right and hairpin left. To 2 right and hairpin left, tightens, deceptive. There she comes. 60. 4 right to narrow bridge and 6 left. Nice and neat, narrow bridge, 6 left. And 6 right, tightens. 40. Okay, 6 right, tightens, 40. 4 left. Small crest. 3 right to sudden turn, square left. 3 right, sudden turn, square left. 40, slippy continues. 3 right, continues over 100. 40.
Just 2 seconds behind, it was Fraser Jones and Inbal Edry. This pairing had only met the day before the rally, and so were taking a little time to get used to each other.
So, 3 stages down. How are you feeling with the car now?
Feeling very good, fills me full of confidence, really good car, well balanced and going quite well.
Yeah?
Just getting used to the conditions, haven't sat with Inbal yet, just met her yesterday, so we're just getting used to each other.
Yeah, and how's she reading the notes?
Really well,
Yeah?
she's very experienced, very professional, so it's going really well, no mistakes or anything, quite happy.
Quite a few people are sort of saying that brake balance is a problem.
Yeah, when we went to Norway, we had problems with pads, so we went with tarmac pads in the front to stop them burning up. And when we went to the M Sport test a few weeks ago, we played about the brake balance a lot. It took us a while, but I think we've got it just about right now.
Excellent. And the car's coping with the bumps all right?
Seems to be, there's a few big holes in there. You go into them thinking, oh, but it seems to come out fine, so I'm quite happy. Strong car.
Paul Alexander was up to 8th overall after the first 3 stages, but seemed a little concerned as he entered service.
First couple we just had no brakes at all, or we had some brakes but they weren't where we needed them.
Yeah.
We're messing around with the adjuster and it's not doing anything, so boys are going to have a look at it now, because at the moment where you want brakes on the back to flick the car around, it's just locking up at the fronts everywhere.
Right.
So the last stage was a bit better because I jammed a bit of a cloth in there just to try and keep the bias valve in, but we're trying to do something a bit more permanent now rather than a bit of a balaclava stopping it. So hopefully it'll be a bit better the next 2. The pace was a bit better on that one with some rear brakes, so hopefully we can do a bit more, we'll go a bit quicker.
What are the conditions like?
They're all right, not as rough as I was expecting to be honest. I mean, it's a little bit rough, but not as bad as I thought. It's quite slippy in places, like under the trees and everything, but they're better than I was expecting. They're good.
Chris Moore has a wealth of experience in a wide variety of cars, and so was the rally going well so far?
I wouldn't have said it was going very well. I'm just fast asleep, to be fair. I think probably halfway through that last stage I maybe woke up. I don't know what it is. I just haven't driven on gravel for that long. It is taking a bit of time. It's the first time at Richard and what have you. I'm aiming to finish about 5th on this event, realistically, and I'd be surprised if I'm any higher. Trying to be sensible about it. But I haven't particularly enjoyed them 3. We'll push a bit harder in the next couple, I think, but I'm just rusty. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, well, don't cut. Keeps going long and then hairpin right, don't cut. Drive it. 40. Left 5 in. Right 2. And left 1 over small crest into right 7 opens late. Don't cut. And left 5 in. into right 3, don't cut, into sudden, caution, left 8, deceptive, opens. Into left 3 over small crest, opens long. And right 1, into crest slowing, deceptive, left 3. Crest slowing, deceptive, left 3. 30, caution, right 8 long, tightens, slippy, fresh air. Then 200 down the middle. Right 2, 80.
Alex Evans had also made a promising start and was really enjoying the new Fiesta.
Can't believe the car. Had a little bit of a problem with the brakes on stage 2, lost them come the end, but it is only a Group N car, so we can't expect them to be brilliant. But generally, the ride suspension and everything is superb. I might be letting it down a little bit, getting into the swing of things. So took it steady on the first stage, and a bit of a shock on the second one when the brakes went, but third stage was brilliant again.
But heading the leaderboard by just 2 seconds, it was the Irishman Owen Murphy.
The first 2 stages were a bit rough. No, third stage was nice. It was like a stage back home, so we're not going too bad. No, we just have a few problems at the front end with a few big bangs, but we get it sorted now. A
few people are saying it's quite difficult to get the brake balance right so early on.
Yeah, I haven't nowhere. I know where it is, but we're going to have to try and sort it somewhere. It's locking up the front wheels there at speed like that. I was trying to sort it out in the next few stages.
Yeah, now you're going into Grisdale next, 2 quite long stages there.
Yeah.
Different game plan for there?
Same thing, just keep her on the road.
Yeah.
Try not to scratch it, new gear and all.
Two long stages. Malcolm Wilson was still leading the main event, but it was Simon Hughes who moved into a slender lead in the Fiestas on the southern stage. Despite finding the stages very rough and cut up, and as he headed back towards Cockermouth, he thought he had the lead. George Thomas knew he had to continue to push the car quite hard, but was it too hard?
Right. Ignition on, cut out. Fuel pumps. Is it fuel, do you reckon? There's power there, isn't there? Dying. Stop.
A broken engine mount the cause of his retirement, as we'll find out in a moment. Owen Murphy also lost time on the first of the 2 Grisdale stages. He too hit something and damaged the engine mounting, but ingenuity and skill helped him make a temporary repair that would see him continue and then retake the lead from Hughes. Coleman was also on a charge as he set off into the opening Grisdale stage. But incredibly, it was the same pothole that had caught out Thomas that was about to strike again.
60, 5 left, 6 right long tightens. 6 right long tightens, 6 left. 40,
cut out. Something's coming loose.
Fuel pump.
What?
Fuel pump for a bit. You got anything? See if you can get it to the junction. You in first.
And then it was Adam Gould's turn.
2 right, long, tighten. And 2 left. 2 left. 40. Okay, no, no. 3 right.
It emerged that all the cars had been running the suspension too low, causing the engine mounts to break, which then caused an electrical failure. Tommy Walster also suffered the same fate, but with the car back in service, the M Sport mechanics were quick to look at the problem. And before most competitors had even finished the event, a solution was in hand. We had a quick chat with Tommy.
I mean, we were really looking forward to Grisdale. I enjoy Grisdale so much, and we did about a mile just past George Thomas, and I think exactly the same things happened to him, and just an engine mount's broken, and I just couldn't believe it, really. We just strolled onto the end of the stage and we just had to give up. It was just damaging the engine so much. Really? Just gutted. Really, really gutted.
It was therefore Kevin Davis who emerged from Grisdale in 3rd place. But he was now 31 seconds behind Simon Hughes. Chris Moore and Richard Edwards were starting to get used to each other and were soon safely past the pothole.
60. Caution left 7, right 8 long, tighten. Left 8 quick. Left 8 quick, 40.
After their slow morning start, it now seemed that Chris was back on form.
60. Right 8 into left 8 long, tight. 60. Stay left into flat over small crest, 80. Left 3 long, don't cut, and right 7 over small crest, late. 40. Caution, turn hairpin right over bridge, narrow, drive. 60. Right 7, logs. Into caution, left 8 tightens deceptive. Now that's why I wanted to sit with you. Well done. That's more like it, you woke up.
We've just jumped from 10th to 4th in 2 stages, so I did what I said I was going to do, give myself a kick up the bum, drive a bit harder and think about what I was doing, and I think went 3rd quickest through Grisdale, probably the same again on the one after Grisdale North, so feeling better. We're just building up, you know. There's still some more to come, but I'm rusty and I'm getting old, so it'll take a while.
Alex Evans managed to avoid trouble through the long Grisdale stages and was very happy back at the following service.
Superb. Forgotten how good they were. Notes were absolutely flat out in this. We worked out it's about twice the amount of notes per mile as Greystoke, so proper stages.
Yeah. There's quite a few people having problems now as well. Are you managing to avoid that?
It seemed to be. We're still going relatively steady. We're not trying. Well, we're trying, but we're not trying too hard. And we have developed a bit of play in one of the front wheel bearings, but hopefully Ford are carrying a spare and we'll be away again.
Excellent.
On board with Fraser Jones, he had now climbed up into 6th.
Fraser, you've survived Grisdale. Just we've developed a wee problem with the gearbox. It's not staying in 2nd gear. I'm having to hold it in 2nd gear before I change up to 3rd. It's a bit annoying, but we're picking up. We're getting into a better rhythm with Inval, sort of getting used to the car and everything. So yeah, going a bit better apart from the gearbox. Right. How were the stages in Grisdale? Some of the tight corners were rutted quite badly. Some big rocks. I think we managed to clout one, got a wee bit dent in the sump guard. The ruts were quite bad, but apart from that, it's okay. Yeah.
Several other crews were now starting to up their pace too, including Dan Taylor, Richard Archer and Jonathan Greer. Showing a few scars to the once immaculate Fiesta, Innovation Scholarship winner Dan Boardman had picked up a front left puncture, but he was still pushing for a top 10 place, 11th after stage 5. And Richard Parry-Jones, he was certainly trying quite hard too. So with just 4 stages remaining, Owen Murphy still had the advantage from Simon Hughes, whilst Kevin Davis looked comfy in 3rd. Chris Moore was 48 seconds down in 4th, with Alex Evans in 5th and Fraser Jones now in 6th. Competitors now faced 4 more stages, 3 of which were a repeat of the morning stages. Simon Hughes kept up the pressure in Hobcarton to recoup 2 seconds from Owen Murphy. But then on the next stage, Murphy opened up the gap again and now extended his lead to 14 seconds. Hughes was in trouble. A water leak now meant the temperature was rising and he was struggling to find 3rd gear. But could he survive to the finish? Daniel Boardman was on a charge, working his way up into the points, 9th after stage 7. And despite another puncture on the final stage, he would eventually finish in 8th. Richard Archer seemed to struggle on the later stages as he backed off to preserve his car. Dropping out of the point, he finished in 11th. Ian and Ori Lewin would bring their Fiesta to the finish in one piece, but now realise how hard the season is going to be. But just to finish was a great achievement. Ian Gillespie never really recovered after losing 4 minutes with his off earlier in the day. But again, to finish this event would bring some valuable experience. Ed Healer had a quiet rally, keeping out of trouble and getting used to the car. And we can expect him to push harder on round 2 when the championship heads further north and into Kilda. Richard Moore and Susanne Miliani had only finished their car an hour before the start of the event, and so they spent most of the day adjusting it to their liking. And despite the electrics cutting out, they made it to the finish 12th in the Fiestas. Just missing out on the points, Jonathan Greer admitted to taking it cautiously. But his confidence was growing, and to finish in 10th on only his 3rd ever rally was a great result. Richard Parry-Jones's move up from the KA was certainly a good move, and he quickly adjusted to the extra power and superior handling of the newer machine.
I say they're completely different. The similarity is the suspension, you know, is very similar feeling. It's very robust, it's very firm and very well damped. The dissimilarities is, of course, this has got a lot more power and torque, so you tend to shift up earlier in this. You start driving it having driven the KA, and you shift later than you really should. So I've learned to shift up earlier to get more traction, more control. And of course the other big difference is that the car needs driving more aggressively. You need to get this car by the scruff of the neck and really drive it and get it moving around, whereas the KA is much more neutral and actually a lot easier, which is why my son's driving it now.
He finished in 9th. Dan Taylor was just happy to get to the finish, struggling in the rough conditions. A change of suspension settings at the final service brought about some improvements, and he went on to finish in 7th overall. Alex Evans was enjoying a good battle with Fraser Jones for 5th and 6th places, and going into the final stage, just 8 seconds separated the pair. Jones put in a real effort on the final stage, despite struggling with that second gear. But was it enough to beat Evans? Evans picked up a puncture on the very last stage and dropped 16 seconds to Jones, putting him in 6th and Jones in 5th. Chris Moore held on to 4th despite 2 punctures on stage 6 that left him with no spare, and we can certainly expect him to go well on round 2.
400 down the middle, flat. We go left 2 into mid past laybys, then 500 up mid over dip, so that's going to be a left 2. Then 500 up mid, right 2 along, nothing else, right 2 long, 60 up, caution left 1 slowing, 20, right 2 over crest, 40, double caution left 7 tightens over crest long. Stay mid, slippy. 130 down through kinks. Caution left 2 in over small crest and hairpin right don't cut. Into right 3 over finish. 60. Okay.
But for Kevin Davis, a steady drive throughout the afternoon meant he held on to his 3rd place.
Kevin, 3rd overall, you must be happy with that.
Chuffed, over the moon. Since first time today doing the stages, first time in the car, well, realistically doing a rally, and a 3rd, brilliant. Can't ask for better.
Yeah. Now it's been quite rough out there for some competitors. How have you found it?
Yeah, it's been really rough. We had a bit of trouble with the rad. Hopefully, well, thank God it hasn't been leaking, but it's just bent it back. But had one moment in Crysdale, but managed to get away with it. But that's rallying there.
So it's obviously good preparation for the next round. We're up into Kielder next. It's notoriously rough in Kielder. Are you going to make any changes to the car for that?
Yes, well, we're going to have to phone M-Sport and ask them if we can do any changes. But if we get the go-ahead, yes, we're definitely going to make, especially the front with the rads getting bent all the time, just try and make that stronger or guard it in a way.
Yeah. What about suspension-wise? You're going to change the ride height?
Yes.
Stiffen it up,
yes.
Soften it?
Definitely raise the ride height if it is possible. And, well, for the reason it won't ground out as much then. Other than that, the suspension's been working brilliant today, other than that.
Excellent. Congratulations, well done.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Simon Hughes kept his car going to the finish to take 2nd.
Simon, congratulations, 2nd overall.
Yeah, good result really, especially since the last stage we had a lot of drama. We managed to damage the radiator, so we've been losing water all the way down here, and then also we got stuck in 3rd gear. So really the last stage was just a crawl back home to claim some points. Obviously 2nd's a good result. It'd be nice to take 1st, but we'll definitely be there challenging Owen again on the next one. So yeah, good rally, good close competition. That's what we're here for. So enjoyable day.
Excellent. Congratulations. Well done.
Thanks.
Thank you.
But taking his first win of the championship with a winning margin of 38 seconds, it was Owen Murphy.
Owen, congratulations. Fantastic result.
Yeah, we had a good time, all right. Kept on the road, so it's the main thing to do today, neat and tidy.
Yeah. Any problems during the day?
Yeah, we had a car earlier on stage 3. we passed him, then we caught another car about a mile up the road from him. So we lost about 30 seconds there, and last stage we got a puncher about half a mile from the end, but we just kept going at it and hoped they wouldn't catch us, but we heard Simon in gearbox trouble then, so everything went alright.
Excellent. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So what's the plan for the next round?
Same again, just neat, tidy and try and finish. See where the boys are.
Malcolm Wilson was even at the finish to congratulate the winners. The championship next heads to Kielder Forest in a few weeks' time, where hopefully another superb entry awaits us.